Yes, we discussing meditation. Meditation on the whole is just like contemplation. You always contemplating, and you contemplate, and you also creating. It's like every step you take, you knit the path that you're taking. This is a form of meditation where it requires you to be in yourself. It requires you to know yourself. It requires you to understand the experiences that you're going to have and how you want them to go. These are not just going to be experiences that you allow yourself to experience just because you allow things in your life, or basically the concept is don't be the tumbleweed that just get blown around from direction to direction, chasing goals, desires, because you're born with nothing and you're going to leave with nothing. So you got to keep those in mind and realize that you do have a journey here and a reason for coming here, and it wasn't to acquire your desires and fulfill everything that you raise a family to be. You was first a soul, just like the first person who came here and started, and you have a journey that you have to fulfill still, and you have to leave your mark here in society. So it got its own parts to it. So for you to understand these concepts, it requires you to be inside yourself so that you could contemplate your own life cycle, your destiny. You see, when you start meditating, it's like you have a dead magnetic field. You have dead skin, dead cells. That's why in the biblical term they say that those is the people of the dead, or you hear the Egyptians say those is like the humans and they call themselves immortal, meaning that they're not dead, they're going to live. Well, this is a true fact. You see, when you go into meditation, it's like all the spirits that is a part of your molecular structure come back to you and they start uniting themselves. We hear different zodiac signs. It is attached to different organs from, Pisces on your feet to Capricorn over your head. All of these is significant in your actual body. Yes, brother. All right. And organs. You see, it's really your organs that's alien. And you look at your shell as the sheath is just a bunch of cells. And look at it like space. You see, your magnetic field in the skin is the same as like space, because when you go into space, people tell you, oh, we're going to ride into space, deep space, and explorationary satellites into space. Well, they also say it's like infinite, and if you keep going, you're just going to come back out on the other side. Well, it's a fact, but it's not how they're saying it. It's because what we're saying now is the cell and the space in between there. You see, when you look up in space, you're looking into yourself. It's a reflection. It's a cell that reflects back from its magnetic field what you're seeing. And so you got the Earth cell reflecting back space cell. So these two is just two mirrors reflecting. But the mirror is now a substance like a whirlpool that you can fall through and you'll just pop out back on the other side. But it doesn't mean that, that's how the law of it is, that you keep going and you're popping out on the other side. Nah, that law now is because you're going in the wrong direction. It's telling you that's the wrong way. We're not supposed to go in those directions. We're supposed to go inwards. You see, because we're a black hole. We come through a black hole. And so for you to go, you have to go back through the black hole and go to the parallel. I don't know if your government know that and science know that, and they're just teaching us something else. But I guess it's because when you go into the parallel, you're talking about entities, other beings, and all types of crazy spirits. It's the world of the dead and the world of the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and everything else in the electromagnetic spectrum on a whole. And so a lot of people can't phantom that, especially, I guess, whoever made up our government system and the people who laid down these new laws that got rid of it and took it out of our reality. So that's what all right. So those is why we don't get to see them no more, and they got the religious stuff and teaching us religion how it is. It dumbs us down. But the thing to it now, through meditation, all of these is going to come back to you, because it's like we ourselves, excuse me, we have a trauma in us that we think that we forgot who we are when we forgot our past and we forgot we're soul and we forgot our destiny and we forgot where we came from. No, it's nothing like that. You got it and you do remember. It's just scary. Nobody wants to remember. You will look at your memory as the nightmares you have that you're running from. That's your memory. And it's trying to unite with you, but what happened is, Egyptian story. You know what I'm saying? This is from what's called the Bronze Book. They have in there saying that when the Most High or whatever released the firmament, he released the dragon. And this dragon tore this motherfucker up so bad that the few survivors that survived went into post-traumatic stress and couldn't even speak no more. They was in shock. They was just all messed up. And after they came out, they feared the Most High. They feared looking up. Nobody looked up no more. It was like we had to start all over again. And so it's still in us. Every generation, we coming out more and being more conscious and have, excuse me, it's like you having that split in your personality starting to come back. It's remembering now all the stuff. So especially since the 2012 frequency adjustment in the pulse of the sun, we're getting a faster pulse now. So it's speeding up our genetics. And so with that now, all of us is like in super fast gear of learning if you're interested in learning. But a lot of people is also decreasing and going into their lower self if that's what they're into, such as just hanging out, comedy and fucking and all that stuff. That's here too. They're going to get, yes brother, they're going to be whatever you want to be. This is where it's at. The laws of attraction actually work. And everything is instant karma. All this all still goes back to meditation. This is all part of meditation. So by you now understanding how they come back to you, you stay under meditation a lot and your energy builds up. Your energy builds up. Well, now, this is where it gets deeper. Because of this now, you have opposing spirits, or what we call the Dolaboff, and a whole bunch of other spirits that sees all of this and see you shining and see your inner light glowing and is now going to send out the opposing forces to come against you. So you're going to live a more natural life according to the laws of nature, meaning you might just finish meditating and say, I got this great idea and this plan to do something, let me get to it, and something going to keep interrupting you, always interrupting you. It's going to probably be a week and you still ain't never get to it. It's always at that last second when you're going to do it, something's going to drag you away. And so you're going to see that's how it's going to come, and you're going to have to learn to discipline yourself and be strong with whatever your decisions is. But it's going to be an overwhelming energy as you take this journey. You start to be more of a knower. And when you start being more of a knower, it make you very egotistical. But you first have to go through the egotistical to realize the I in you. You're the I. You know, the I wouldn't count so much if we didn't go through so much mental oppression and psychological, you could say oppression too, because of the simple fact they make us all look like we were slaves, or make it seem like we was all doing the worst parts of life, you know, negative things, everything negative. So, you know, all the good people in the world was looking for the good and couldn't find it because they only show you the propaganda, a negative side to us. You can look at it in any form. It's like just a negative aspect whenever you come to that. It will be like, we're the comedy. You know, you go to comedy and you look up anything, even in modern time right now, entertainment, you always see the black people at the front of the list as far as being some funny motherfuckers, some clowns, some gestures for entertainment. That's all people want. You know, we passed those stages a long time ago of being black faces. And I'm not saying black faces is fucked up. It's a good way to make your money, and it's good for energy release. What I'm trying to say is, if society is fucked up on the whole and you just blackfacing all day and he and all day and don't address the issue, then it shows what type of person you are. You know, for us all to eat and live good, we all got to be all right. You can't just have some of us all right. And through meditation and unification, that's the yoga part I'm talking about. And yoga is accepting the energies as you're under meditation. I'm not talking about yoga by standing around putting yourself in weird positions for hours and hours. No, yoga is the same sitting in the lotus position, but as you ascend in these levels of meditation, you start seeing images, start seeing pictures, you start seeing ancestors, you start seeing beings, you start seeing entities, you start seeing your soul. You might even see God and the angels, and they be your teacher and give you lessons. So if you're not ready for all of this, then this is what's not yoga. So yoga is the fact that you're ready for that part, and don't try to fight these things and run from it. You go and you handle your business. That's called unification with all energies. Negative energies is something that is more attached to you. The more negative it is, it's because it's your shadow repressed side, and it's you. It's like you hate people that remind you of you, or you and somebody else like you don't get along. So that will be considered the negative energy, and those you have to address first. Anything that you feel in that world that bothers you, you address it first. Don't never ever look at it like you could turn it away or run from it, because what it will do is attach itself to you and drain you still. Once you notice it's there, you have to face it till it's over and confront everything that's going on. This is unification in yoga, what we call yoga, and the whole science of what we do. So now you go into meditation, and like I said, it's a series of events that take place for you to actually get into this mode, for you to understand it fully. I don't know what level of understanding you want, so I'm going to give it to you in basics. You see, you have three bodies. You have a physical body, you have an astral body, and you have an ethereal body, and the soul, but those is important. Yeah, you could say you got a spirit, but we're not talking about those on the level. We're talking the basic one that your consciousness could shift to. So in your physical, it shifts. It's the same as now, like say if you in an elevator and it drops down real fast, that same feeling is the shift you're gonna feel when you switch bodies. It's actually your consciousness really moving up and down. When the elevator goes up, it pulls you back down into your physical body. When it goes down, it pushes you back up into your astral body. So that feeling now, you're gonna induce it on your own. And the thing to it is that most people don't know that they have an astral body. And so they don't know of that whole, you could say they're ignorant to the fact that they exist on another plane. These planes is what they call UFOs and aliens and entities. It's you. If you was to ever study ancient science and see what the Egyptians is telling you, they're telling you have three bodies. And those three bodies is active, and if you don't realize it, you're participating in them when you're unconscious, when you're sleeping. But literally, you're the last part of it. They actively making everything happen, and we don't know. And you just living here on this earth, carrying out, chilling, because everything is really happening up there. So when they tell you about good and bad and this and that, we don't really know the cause of our effects. You understand, of what we're doing, because it's happening in a higher plane. And this is just a backdraft. It's like the anchor to the earth. So you can't really equate your experience as the real experience. They just give you stuff, the pyramid of work, and go home and do that. You wouldn't be doing none of this. You would be participating like the Egyptians did, and the Babylonians and the Chaldeans. They was all astrologers, star people studying the skies, because they knew about their astral bodies and was using them. See, all of this is missing, and only the Jews know it now, and they practice it. That's why they have all the best books and real books on the Halat meditation, and the best teachers of it, and they live that type of lifestyle. You see, they live a lifestyle that's simple, called chemistry, alchemy. The fact is that when you isolate yourself, your energy stay in your own bubble, in your Merkaba, and it becomes stronger. So, like when you see like the UFO over Israel, all that is, and I want y'all to go watch that one. The one where you see, yes brother, the UFO that goes up over the Capitol. It hovers there for a little while, right? It's a light, two lights. Then you're gonna see one light on I look at it, I got a funny perception, I tell you, man, from being in that world. I could see from any angle, from the clock spinning around, It's like my body and my perception could jump into that angle. So when they playing the video straight and you looking up in the sky, I'm looking sideways. I don't see it the same way y'all do, like up and down. I'm looking at it from this angle. And so from this side, it's a tall, ethereal body man, and he's holding two orbs. And what he do is he take that would be his right hand, and he takes it and he comes around. And you're going to see him come up like that with his hand. And he's going to come around and touch the other one. And when he touched the other one, the explosion go boom. And you see, that's what Israel and them is doing. They fucking with their ethereal body because they mastered mysticism. All that y'all seeing over Israel about UFOs and gods, that's none of that stuff, man. You see how they put themselves on the borderline with ISIS to show some authority, but that's not no God stuff anyway. That's all your ethereal bodies. If you didn't know, a lot of them is at war with y'all up there, like how you see in them video games, like Dragon Ball Z, and you participate and don't know consciously. You battle with these people up there in the clouds and in the skies as gods. They know that though. But you see what they doing, they mastered how to power it up and use it. So when you see that UFO, all it is a nigga jumped into meditation and is in his Merkaba. He come and he do that. He control all of that through the ethereal body. And that's what it do. Y'all got to pay attention to these UFO things. Those ain't UFOs. Those is either orbs from people, their eyes, their nose. Any place that's shiny, they could make it into light. But it's a big-ass body there before you would look at saying it's a flying object flying around. Look at its trajectory. Do it follow the trajectory of an object moving straight lines? No, it moves like somebody's arms, legs, face, nose, eyes. Those is what is actually there. So they don't tell you that, but this is all done when you meditate the right way. Remember, this video is about meditation. I'm teaching you the real science so you understand the importance of what's going on. It's the Merkaba. All them UFOs y'all seeing, it's all around Israel and all of that because they mastered the Merkaba. Them, the Germans, they fly around in their own little Merkaba. They go into meditation. Most of them, like, niggas don't even use their body, man. They nimble and just laid up and at some place. They live in their life in their Merkaba in other zones, in other worlds, in other dimensions. All of these governments is trying to tap in to make the connection between the two worlds. So I don't know if they physically could do it, but I know you could do it astrally, so it has to have probably another side that is physical too. So probably that's why all you got these CERN and these people opening these portals and probably going from parallels to parallels. I can't see no other reason to put up all that equipment when we could do it naturally. So it got to be something where they're trying to take something physically into those spiritual realms and put it there or bring it back. But anyways now, so all of this you require from meditation. When you go in there, it's like you see those worlds all come up like collages. And all of it is like if you're Professor X inside Cerebro's brain, you just be surrounded by it and it's what you focus on. Or sometimes you're just in total darkness and you just see a blip of light, just a little filament, and you just focus on it and it start getting closer and closer. It comes in to be a big ball of light or an orb and you just go through it. It starts you on your mission to go to Cyrus, and Cyrus is really inside your body. You start to take the journey through yourself. You're only in your body, you can't leave your body, but your body got 48 constellations, so you're in a virtual reality of this world, including if you was to just go up out your body and into the sky. You would leave in a Merkaba, but you have a dragon, a demon, a spirit carrying you around. If you was to see Superman fly, you would see Shu carrying him. He can't fly. Nobody can control no air without a demion doing it for them. So if you would have seen something flying, that's who do it. Now you're talking rocket propel stuff and all that, you know that's science, that's physics. But I'm just saying how you see these superheroes supposed to be flying or ability to fly, only way you could do that is if somebody's lifting you up and it has to be the air, and the air is alive. If you study Arabic or any ancient Chaldean or Babylonian lexicon, and tell you the air is a demon and so is the sea. The sea is Tiamat. You understand? She came and she had sex with the air, and they made us. That's the story of how we came into conception. So we was created by demons, water and air. That's why they have the story now when they remix it for us of how the spirit hovered over the waters. Air and water. Guess what is air and water? Air and water is fire. So instead of them looking for water, for life, it's life right there when you look at fire. So all along, what do you think is in fire? Could fire survive without air? No. Could fire survive without H2O? No. So it's water and fire. So the real key substance is why they play with our minds and tell us that they have to find water, like we live in fishes. Or actually, water is the precursor to life, when it's really fire came before water. Then the fire cooled and steam came and water came. It's called the tetragrammaton. Fire, earth, air, water. Those is all the principles that make amoeba, germs, growth, life. And it's also called the atom. And Adam was never a man. Adam is the principle of what the creative seed is, the atom. If you have an atom in anything, a tree, an apple seed, an avocado seed, that's the atom. It got all the information it needs in it to sustain a life, a universe, a body. So Adam never left. Adam is always here, and it will always be. It's what's inside the atom. That's everything, the genetic seed, the life. And in there is a gateway to our other world. And we travel in those cells when we go into meditation. Now, as soon as you get yourself going the right way in meditation, you're going to see that everything have an ethereal gas body look to it. Everything. You're in a gas cloud of this reality. The reason why it's important is because when we come back to this third dimensional world, we're looking through rays of light. We live in a light world, a white light. But it's not really like how we think rays of light. I would look at it as pinholes. You're looking through pinholes, so many billions upon trillions in one little millicenter of it. Like if they say you could put a trillion light particles on the head of a pin, you know, that's the same thing as DNA. How much DNA that data could fit on the head of a pin? So all of those is like holes that light shine through. And them gases is over it, around this ball, this sphere, that shine these holograms into those little pin lights. We see it as our reality, and it's real when we're moving through it. You see, when you up there in the ethereal, you just in the gas of it now. You see everything for what it is. And everything is alive up there. They're not stable and they're stuck in the structured form as in the this world right here. So when you get up there, trees is moving. They run, they walk, they scheme on you. They turn and transform into other things. It's the same as in the movie Black Panther when he went to go see his father in that parallel universe where you see him sitting like by some tree of life and you see the panther, and it's the same thing just like that. But only thing now, the tree could move. The tree, it ain't stable, and he won't be stable. He's like a cloud that is transforming while he's there. Everything transformed by angles, by whatever angle. Only way to stay one way is if you stop and don't move. But everything has to stay in motion because you're in a unified field of motion. Without motion, everything dies. So the wave of it keeps everything just going, and you're in the wave of it. You could stop and you could adjust and look, but everything is always going to be on a wave. So like sometime when you go into meditation, it seems like you're underwater when you started off and you're in like a wave, or some people think they're in Atlantis or in caves, but you are, because it's the projection of the orbs that do everything, but you're still in a unified field where even if you're in the air, it's going to seem wavy. So all of this now is what you're going to be experiencing when you go into meditation the right way. And the way you're going to do it, like I said, is it starts off with just sitting there still in the darkness. The more you do it, but you're out observing, you got to look. Don't just sit there nothing. Observe. Look in that darkness and wait. Be patient. If you eat and right like you're supposed to, your body will be cleansed. Your chakras will start opening up. You understand? If you kind of got a lot of toxicity in you, you eat a lot of chemical food, a lot of store-bought food instead of food from God, you got to get yourself some alkaline in your system. You can't just eat stuff out of boxes and cans and plastic bags. That's not real. Your body wasn't meant to ingest that. And so maybe if you stop eating that, the alkalinity will go up in your body that you could see the matrix pattern inside your eyes and inside your subconscious mind. Most of the time, when you don't have this, when you can't get the lights on in there and it's too dark for you to see, the best way to do is to sun stare for a little while. Get yourself some sun staring, and that now is going to activate what's called your cryptochromes. You got cryptochromes right here around your eye. I mean, right between your pineal gland and where the dark gate is. Cryptochromes is what bees navigate on. They don't have eyes. They follow a magnetic field. So you have a magnetic field that, like, when you sun stare, you see, you can't look into the sun. So when you stare into the sun, your body automatically goes into a post-traumatic stress event, and your soul comes in to take responsibility for it. The soul sees the sun as darkness. I mean, as as darkness, it could take it, but the other one can't. So you yourself now, you go away and your soul start taking in the sun and it start awakening. The more you do that, the more you awaken your soul. When eventually down, when your soul comes fully awake, it's going to take over you. And then it's going to get rid of your bad habits and start the whole process. It's going to expand your magnetic field to where you feel sensitive energy, and you feel like an empath, and you feel like you're being possessed and attacked. You have anxiety and fear. That's all your soul that expands it now. And the soul comes with over 2 million different characters with it, because you're talking about many, many lives of images and holograms that you used to be, and all your memories is all in it. It's collages upon collages that now you have access to. So if a person isn't ready for this, he's going to lose his mind. He's going to go crazy. It comes on to you at any given time, and you're going to start flashing into another world at any given time. So your job is to maintain 1 foot in this world and 1 foot in the other world. You can't be too much into the other world and not too much into this world. The thing to that now is that when you programming yourself, which is what you're doing, because you was programmed to only see life from a third dimensional analytical point of view, using only the right side of your brain. So now that you want to change that, you have to still isolate yourself to a certain degree to program your mind. You understand? It's all implants. So you're going to do your own mental implants of how you want yourself to be. So you would have to isolate yourself for a while and get into the spiritual world, see it, understand it, and then break and come back out. But it's like a dream. If you have a dream and you just wake up and you just go make your breakfast and go make your bed and leave, you're going to forget the dream. But if you lay there for a while and you ponder on it, you ponder on it, you ponder on it, then you get up, you will see that you're going to have it in your memory and stored upon a little Rolodex of a whole bunch of those that you pondered on. And then all of a sudden they all start coming together like a jigsaw puzzle to make a story for you and the whole thing. Like you're like, oh, okay. And then after a while you'll be reading them like it's nothing. So all of this is the gateway to just sitting still, closing your eyes, and looking straight ahead in the darkness of yourself. Let yourself hear yourself for a while. Don't tell yourself shut up. Understand yourself. You're not no more. Once you close your eyes, you don't exist. You're a God now. You're the overseer of everything. You just allow everything to take place and pay attention to everything without actually holding on to it. When you do that, it's like subatomic particles or the laws of observation. If you observe subatomic particles, they're going to come alive or they're going to disappear. So you just have to sit there and observe those subatomic particles there, and everything will happen for you. Like I said, eating, rest, exercise, discipline. Those is all a part of getting yourself into the higher worlds. Deny yourself all the things you desire. You was born by yourself, you're going to die by yourself. You can't take nothing with you. Deny yourself. Remember that. University of Conscious Science. One love.